Okay, we're on. Hey, everybody, give me a second here. I'm going to make sure that I can monitor the chat so that I can interact with you when you guys come on. Say hello when you come on. So I'll give you guys a few seconds to join and I will get started. And I'm so excited to introduce our guest today. So give me a second. And here we go. All right. Hello. Welcome, everybody. This is Leo, and you are on Wisdom Club Live. We recently changed our name because I am actually moving all our videos and our live streams to my private group called the Wisdom Club. And so if you don't know about it, there's a link in the post here. Go ahead and click on it and join us because we're going to do more exciting things to do, exciting things there. And I'm going to be putting out a lot of content there. Previously, it's just been a group where people can share quotes. But now I'm putting a lot more content there. We're going to engage a lot more, and we're doing these live videos there too. So I'm just going to give to this private group of mine who are just super awesome, supportive, and really just beautiful, intelligent people. So please do that. So that's a quick announcement for me. And today I want to introduce you to Tina. And so Tina is an entrepreneur here in Orange County. More specifically out of Santa Ana, California. And so if you're watching not from our neck of the woods, that's where we are. And she has a really interesting story about how she started her business and also what she does, which is also a specialty topic that I would love to talk about. And you guys will know why as you guys watch more, because I will share something personal with you guys. And this is super great. And so I'm really I'm happy that she made the time and was able to do that and come on, and I'm really grateful. So Tina, that's a little quick intro for you. Tell us about you. I think just the overall, like where you're from, where have you lived, how did you end up in Santa Ana, kind of a little bit of background about your growing up in family, so we kind of get to know you a little bit, and then we'll dig into some of the entrepreneurial stuff.
Cool. Hi. Thank you for having me here, Leo. My name is Tina. My parents actually escaped the Vietnam War, so I'm Vietnamese and so when they escaped, we actually just landed here in California because my father, he had some of his siblings here, and so basically I grew up in the city. Yeah.
Awesome. So how old were you when you guys came?
At the time I was about 3.5. So we actually came during a little later in the early 90s versus back in the 70s.
Wow. Okay. So those were fun times. Now that I look back with everything that's happening here, and so all of your family live here now. You have siblings and everything.
My immediate family is here, but I do have some family in Vietnam still. And it's actually funny because my dad was supposed to escape, I think in the late 70s, but with my older brother, but it didn't go through so well. But then me and my other sibling were actually like grateful that it didn't go through, or else like we wouldn't be here right now.
Oh,
if
yeah.
my dad would actually went first with my brother. Yeah.
Oh, well, those in the 70s with Vietnam and stuff like that, those were really tough times. I mean, with the war ended, but then there's just so much destruction and so much chaos over there. So, um, when I hear about stories like yours, that you guys were able to come here and make a life out here, like that makes me happy. Like, people who are able to make it here and move away from all the problems and the war and all that stuff back then. So good for you guys.
Thank you.
And so you basically then grew up here and always been in Orange County, right?
Yes, I've always been in Orange County except for 2 years. I spent in New York, and I was studying fashion at the time. So, and after I was done, and I moved back to Orange County.
Okay, so I'm starting to see a little connection, which we'll talk about. That's awesome. I knew I'd find something. I knew I'd find something. So super cool. So a couple of years in New York, and so how's New York compared to here?
I love both. I mean, their food, their culture. I think there's a variety of different people. What I do love about New York is the friends that I make there. They're very straightforward. So if there's anything, they'll just like they're very outspoken.
Yeah.
So with that, it really like it gave me the courage to start speaking up, especially in my culture. It's like I was told as a woman, like we're not allowed to like speak to people with authority, especially with men. So living there, it was like a big culture shock.
Totally. I mean, not just women, but men too. Like, I grew up and like we were supposed to be respectful and, you know,
Yeah.
don't say anything and, you're not supposed to be aggressive or like outwardly expressive. Like that's all of us, right? You know,
Yeah.
but women definitely more so for sure. For sure. So good. I'm glad. That sounds like a great experience. I should have had that experience when I was young. Okay, so tell everybody about your business. I'm so eager to get into that now.
So I started a business. It's a dog accessory business. It's called Hound and Friends, and I specialize around accessories for your pets, and then with the option of you matching with your pet. So there's like bow ties, bandanas, flower crowns, shirts, like, and then also like customs, and and then really where I really just want to focus also is with the products is creating opportunities for people and their pets to experience love, joy, and be fully self-expressive who they are. Yeah.
Awesome. Um, I'm a little, I like a little explanation on like what you mean. Like, okay, there's an option to accessorize with your pets. Like, tell me how that like works. That sounds really interesting.
Yeah. So I have bandanas where basically you can put on your dog, and then you can also put on yourself as well too.
Mhm.
And then it's the same material. So when you go to the dog park or anything like that, like for example, if you were like to go somewhere and you're like, oh, this guy's really cute or this girl's really cute,
Mhm.
and then you're just wondering like who's this dog belongs to. So by having them wear the same product, you can be like, oh, and you can walk over and say, hi, is this your dog? So it's a really great conversation starter as well too. um, yeah, so things like that, and during this whole pandemic, I also shifted with my business where I make face covers, so it's the same material as the dog bandana, so when you're walking your dog out to the park, you can still have the same kind of like accessories to match.
Okay, very cool. Do you mind, like I just pulled up your website so we can get some visuals. Do you mind like we share it? Yeah. And then maybe you
Yeah,
can talk through some of your products that like really popular and like what people are looking for and stuff like that. Okay.
absolutely.
Let me do that. Hold on. Share screen. All right. There we go. So this is the front page here.
Yes.
Okay.
uh, So all of my products are I photograph them with my friends and their dogs and their kids. So and all the products are named after friends and family as well too. So that's where it really like just bringing back the family unity inside of that.
Mhm.
So you can see as one of my friend, her flower crown she matched with her dog. Her dog name is Fitzgerald for that one.
Very, very regal. And also like you can see like this is one of the more it's like a queen. It's like for like for like a royal family or something. Did you ever get a comment like that? Like it's really like the rose crown and stuff.
Yeah, I do. And people feel like they're queen, and then they even like sometimes like I see people post about their dogs when they caption it. They
Mhm.
just like they say something about that as well too.
Super cute. So
Thank
I'll
you.
scroll down a little bit so you can just kind of guide me a little bit, like where you might want to go.
Yeah. So right now I have what's kind of popular right now is the face covers with the bandanas.
Mhm.
So with that, I'm also doing a custom decal designs. So people can actually put certain markings on their face covers so that they can actually see like which one belongs to them as a because sometimes they might buy more than one for themselves and their family. And after you wash in the laundry, you're kind of like, which one did it belong to? So you can do that as well as like I can also custom people's branding or in this case, some people have been putting the same decals on their pet bandana. So yeah.
Yeah, I think this is good for. I used to take my dog to the dog park all the time, and then so I guess people don't have to guess anymore. You know, they see that you have a face covering on and you have these matching stuff, right?
Yeah. And then I have the Pride collection going on right now for Pride Month as well.
Oh, very cool. Wow,
Thank you.
um, that's really great that you're you know celebrating that and getting that out there.
Yeah.
And then there's a little bit story about you. Do you want to kind of talk a little bit about this, or kind of we already covered it?
Um, I think we pretty much covered the majority of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What got you starting like decide to start this business other than fashion? Was there something that triggered it?
Yeah, I love animals. My dad actually brought my first dog home, and from there I just learned so much about an animal.
Mhm.
And so with that, I just kind of like I want to be able to provide that for other people, like to have the experience. One of the things that most people think about dogs is like their unconditional love. And so that's where I'm just like really like I'm hoping people can experience that more. And then for me personally as a child, growing up, speaking up again was kind of like something that was like a little foreign for me. But I know with my dog, I was able to share anything with him and like do anything. My dog always comes back. And the other thing that I experience with dogs too is like there's a lot of joy and I can do like anything. Or even like last week when I took my dog to IKEA and I was waiting for my friend to pick up some stuff, and I'm sitting there, and my dog is sitting there with me, and all these people were walking past by, and they're just like smiling. And there was even this one other like girl. She's like, "Oh my God, look at that dog," you know. And then there's this other guy who walked past by, and like to me he seems like this tough guy where you like you don't smile, you know, like just like this whole profile, right? And he looked at my dog, and his name is Mister. And as he's walking away, he had like this smile on his face, and then you can see like the wrinkle on the eyes and stuff. And it's just like it's so funny. And so I just like see those kind of experiences, and I want to be able to provide that for people. And by having accessories on dogs, people are more likely to like come by and say hi, and that alone already creates like connection with people. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of my goals here. Doing all these interviews, and it takes a lot of time. And actually, today, you know, I was, you know, was I had an urgent issue with one of my real estate transactions, and so I had to actually move it, delay it a little bit to come on live with you. But one of the reasons this is so important to me, and in case all of you guys are out there watching, is that this is something that this interview is something that I wanted to do because I wanted to connect with people. And when the pandemic happened, I was used to going out. You know, I play volleyball on a regular basis. I hike and I organize group hikes, and I'm always out with clients. I'm having lunches, coffee, and all that stuff. And when the pandemic happened, all that stuff just stopped. And I was okay maybe for a couple of weeks. I'm like, oh, okay, you know, like I have my own time. But then after that was like, oh my God, I miss everybody. And so one of the ways that this came about is so that I decided like, hey, you know, I can still connect with people if I start doing Zooms, and then we'll just you know schedule them in. And as opposed to something on the side and everything, we can all share. I have a pretty big Facebook audience here, and so we can all connect. And it doesn't just have to be like just me and you or something like that, right? And so that's really super great. But what I wanted to say is that you know I really appreciate like your the way you think about this is that you can see how people connect, whether you're connecting with your pets, but then through your pet, other people are connecting with you as well. And so that's my thing. And do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I actually love that you're actually doing this during this pandemic for people to connect. And that's really like my biggest thing is really creating an opportunity for people to like connect and also communicate, whether it's with their pets or their loved ones. Yeah, for
Right,
sure.
right, awesome. So I want to tell people a little bit of something is that
Yeah.
um, well, one thing that I learned about dogs from through my last dog, who was a German Shepherd. He was a rescue, and I loved him so much. We had him and I had the tightest bond that I ever had, like with any pet, you know. And so, but unfortunately, I had to give him up a few years ago. But that's another story. But what I learned from him was that dogs only live to be, it ranges anywhere from like, 13 years. And if they like live a long time, we like 18 years, maybe maximum, right?
Mhm.
And so they live such a small amount of time compared to ours. And they live in fast forward. Like,
Yeah.
if their life is 7 times shorter, so they have to live 7 times faster. And
Yes.
God give them like all these super senses so that they can live faster, right? They can smell more, they can enjoy more. Like every little scent is like, mind blowing, and everything that they see is so happy, and then they're moving at a faster pace and they're doing more, and so it teaches you how to appreciate life more, right?
Yes.
And then of course the component you talked about earlier is the connection. And so you have anything to add to that? Like what your thoughts are?
Yeah, absolutely. My friends and I, we used to call my dog Mistress. Like he's an opportunist. Like he
Yeah.
just keeps going for what he wants. Like if he wants to get pet, he'll come over, he'll sit like next to you. And then if you just ignore him, he'll like put his head on you or something like that. And then next thing you know, he'll put his paws on you like constantly. And then you just have to, at one point, you just turn around and you start petting your dog, like Mister. And so when that happens, people are like, he just really knows what he wants and he just goes for it. And I'm like, yeah, what if all of us get to live a life that way? Like, what if we all like say we want this and we continuously like just keep striving to get it. And eventually we get it, just like that's it. So
Well, they can't speak, right?
no.
So they have to do these little things, right? They were like, okay, if I'm a little closer, maybe I'll get the point. If I look at them longer, maybe I'll get the point, right? If I wag my tail or if I do something, right? They can't tell you, right?
No.
So that's also some, a lot of wisdom in that as well, because like we rely so much on what we say, but then it doesn't match, so many of the things that we do. And so it's
Yes.
actually not as good in some ways, right? So they have so much to teach us, in so many ways. So it's super cool. Everybody doesn't know, and you don't know. We never talked about this before, but I put down a deposit for a puppy about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, congratulations.
So since my last dog, I've been really wanting one, but since I was so busy, I wasn't ready for one. And so more recently, I thought, you know what, it's time, ready or not. I've got to, I want to do something. And the way that happened was I was talking to a friend, and I said, hey, she said you should get a dog, because like a lot of people say that to me. Because every time I see a dog, like you were saying, I would like go greet them, and I would talk to the owners and all that
Yeah.
stuff, like one of those like nosy people, and they're usually women, and I hear like the guy like talking to like people with dogs, because I miss going to the dog park, because I used to talk to all the people that were at the dog park, so I miss all that stuff. And so it's just time, because whether however busy I am, at least now I know like, hey, this is, I just need to do that, because they're part of your life that can really enhance it. And so I'm just ready to do that. If I have to spend more time and I have to manage my time better just so I can have more time with the dog, then so be it. So because my last dog was a German Shepherd, I decided that I wanted a Belgian Malinois.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what that is, right?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
so they're like a more hyper version of a
Mhm.
German Shepherd, and they tend to be more police dogs. They use them as police dogs because they don't tire out. So that's kind of a little bit of news I haven't really told anybody, but my friend had kind of said, hey, if this happens and you did this XYZ, then you're getting a dog, and so it happened. So it was like a little bit of a bet, like if this happens, you have to go get a dog, and so I did. So
Do you
the
have oh, sorry. I was gonna say, do you have a name for your dog already?
I don't. I was just thinking about that with another friend of mine, but I've got time. So the mom is pregnant, and she's supposed to give birth like maybe beginning of next month, and then 4 weeks when their eyes open up, I can go and kind of pick it out, and then
Wow.
4 weeks after that, I can take her home. And I'm thinking I want a girl because they tend to be slightly smaller than the males,
Yeah.
and so I won't actually be able to have the dog until for another probably 10, 11, 12 weeks. So I've got a little time. I don't want to drive myself crazy yet, but I'm definitely down for some accessories, pretty soon. And you might have to customize some for mine or something. I don't know.
Absolutely. Let me know. I'll put when you decide on her name, I'll put her name on your bandana too.
Yeah. So I like that, your business is, it seemed like you really can make changes very quickly, like, and can customize very quickly. And that's something that people want, right? They don't
Yes.
want generic stuff that like everybody can buy or has and stuff like that. So people want things personalized. So can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, I'm on like the more smaller scale. So most of the products are currently being made between my mom and I and a couple of friends. And so so it's cool. So when you get your products, it's still currently being handmade by the founders. and then so with that, it's just like I love to have customization, and also because everybody has a different identity. And with that, I just love that when we're with our pets, we have a certain type of expression that we want to convey. And so with customization is that, like how would you want to express different decals or different colors and prints that matches your style and your pet style. And so with that, I worked as diligently as I can to make sure like people get what they want.
Okay. And so these products, I know we saw some of them on your site. So uh, the options basically are bandanas, um, face masks, and like what other things can you kind of expand on what you can make?
Oh, I have bow ties as well too. Bow ties are actually the first one I started with my collection, and as I grew, I started adding other products. And then I also have flower crowns, as you saw, and then there's dog shirts. And then right now, I'm working on a couple products with the wedding industry. So when people get married, they can also marry their pets with them too.
Yeah, kind of like a little ring bearer or something.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I also have and then also do like seasonal holidays. So there's things for like New Year's, Valentine's, St. Patty's, Easter, the summer collection, and then like Halloween and then Christmas. So things like that.
Okay. Very cool. And I guess that's something that you guys are constantly thinking about, like what else can we make? And at some point you can have them more mass uh, uh, produced so that you guys aren't, doing it all yourself, because as you grow, it's not going to be possible, right? To continue to make them yourself.
Yes, that's correct. And right now, we're actually currently looking for some local places to help us manufacture it. I do want to keep um, it to be made in USA, and so also bringing back like the economy as well too, supporting other people in terms of getting businesses here.
Right. Okay. Well, I know that you had communicated to me before regarding how the mindset and how pets and things like that impact. Do you want to talk a little bit about that for everybody?
Yeah, absolutely. So I right now, like what I found in statistic wise is like there's about one in every three homes that people have a pet. And so my goal is to have like the number increase. So with that, I've had my dog since I was 8 years old. And inside of that interaction as a child, it really teach me like how to like be present. And even though the dogs don't have direct communication with me, but then just by watching him like move his ears, his tails, things like that, he's communicating in some sort of way. And so it has me really like pay attention and be attentive to that. So when I speak to other people, I can actually see like different changes, like when somebody has a haircut or their tone of voice changes, things like that. And I would ask them like, what's going on. So so that's like the first part of like having an animal. So, and then I think like our childhood is a really big foundation of how we can develop our mind as well too. So having a dog around like a really early age will really support that brain development. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true, and it's so interesting to me. And I think we don't give it enough credit, what they do for us. And really, like, you have these like support animals, and you can go get designation, and like, oh, this is my support animal for stuff. But they really, just by default, they support you, emotionally, for so many people. And like, can you imagine like being during the pandemic? All these pets were there for you, like when this happened, you had to come home and stay home instead of being at work, and get to reconnect with your pets. If you're working like 8 hours a day, they don't see you, for probably 10 hours a day and stuff like that. So I think you're absolutely right, and I think that's one of the things I'm looking forward to as well. It's just being able to have a companions and some and connection, and also the challenges of the responsibility as well. You have to give, and then they definitely give back, with everything that they got. So totally true.
Yeah, I love that you're talking about responsibility because that really taught like as a child, learning to pick up my dog's poop was one of the first thing. So once I just kind of like overcome that, challenges later in life just became a lot easier.
Yeah.
So again, that's where it's like it's really awesome just to grow up as a child with that, and then creating a foundation inside of that mindset. And as an adult, we have all of that way of beings, and then just like the experiences that came with it.
Yeah, that's so funny because like we grew up in Asia and stuff like that. Like we don't see that. They don't do that. So like we've never seen our whole lives, and all of a sudden like we're here, we're looking like, what are they doing? you know and then you have these little trash cans specifically for it. You have bags there, like it's all this whole facility for that. And like we just like think it's so natural, like dogs just go out and poop, and it's just like, okay, wherever they pooped, right?
Yeah.
So super funny. Okay, great. So I know that I want to be respectful of your time. I know you've got another webinar that you are attending and stuff like that. So I want to kind of start to wrap it up for a little bit. And so, as per tradition, we always ask our guests to share a quote that they love. And I love this one that you picked, by the way. And so, would you go ahead and share with everybody?
Yeah, thank you. This is by Rumi. It's wherever you are and whatever you do, be in love.
Oh, it's super great, super great. And I think all of us that have pets, our pets are always in love, and you're always in love with them. Like you can't exercise unconditional love. That's like the easiest way, to
Mhm.
do that. So like whatever they do wrong, it's like it's okay because they're my pets. So like nobody, like no human can get away with any of those things, right? Yeah. So super awesome. Thank you so much. How can people reach you, see more of you, ask more about your product? Like, what's the best way to connect with you?
They can email me at tina@houndandfriends.com, or
Okay.
they can also find me on the social media as well too.
Okay. And so like if people like have an idea, they want something that customized, there's some kind of accessory that they want, for themselves and their dog, like you guys can accommodate and make that, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. So right now, like gives people an idea of the turnaround time for something typical that they customize a little bit.
If it's like a simple project within 2 to 4 days, if it's more like if they're needing about like 20 quantities and up, then we're looking probably at 5 to 7 days.
And then if people want just for themselves and they don't have pets, that's totally fine too. You'll make them, right?
Yeah. I have just people stuff as well too. Yeah.
Okay, people are people too.
Yes. I actually have a couple of my clients that basically bought stuff for their dog, like the flower crowns and some of the bandanas, and then they're like, "This is too cute," so like they actually use the flower crowns on them themselves too.
Awesome.
So
Awesome. Super cool. I'm looking forward to, getting some of your products. I'm looking forward to see your company grow. I think it's a super great idea. It's really so heart-centered and everything. And that's kind of where I see future for all businesses. It really needs to take care of people. It can't just be about just making money. Making money is
yes.
great, but you gotta really like take care of people. That's when the money, kind of comes. And then it feels really good when everybody's happy. Then, makes a great world. So thank you so much for your business and your products and you coming on here and sharing your story and your business with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, you're welcome. So we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you all for watching. If you're watching on a replay, feel free to comment and feel free to also check out the website. If you want to reach out to Tina, please do. If you have any questions for either one of us.